An explosive accusation against the Baltimore state's attorney prosecuting those cops in Baltimore, a former deputy state's attorney who served in the same office for 21 years, saying Marilyn Mosby could face charges for what she did. Paige Croder wrote, quote, Mosby has undermined the cause of justice rather than promoted it with her haste. If so, it was Mosby who made the illegal arrest and could be charged under her own theory of false imprisonment. What's to that? Let's talk to the judge. What do you think about that?
I'm smiling because there's no end to the complex legal issues here. So this allegation is made by a former prosecutor in the same office of which Ms. Mosby is now the head.
Right.
And the allegation is you've arrested these cops for making a false arrest and other charges. You have arrested them falsely, and therefore, under the theory by which you've arrested them, you could be arrested. That doesn't hold water, because when the prosecutor decides to arrest and charge, the prosecutor has immunity and cannot be prosecuted for that.
Okay.
That's to give prosecutors broad discretion as to who to charge and how to charge.
So there's nothing to that. But let's ask, apparently Officer Edward Nero, who is one of the charged police officers, he made the initial arrest, reportedly. His attorney says that Mosby had said at the press conference that the arrest was illegal because the knife was legal. But according to the defense attorney, the knife was illegal in Baltimore because it had a spring in it.
Okay, here's the law in Maryland.
And now he wants to see it.
Well, first of all, he has an absolute right to see the knife, because the Constitution has what's called the Confrontation Clause, basically meaning you have the right to be confronted with the evidence against you, to challenge it and to examine it. The question is, what kind of a knife is this? Is it an ordinary pen knife that you hold with one hand and take the blade out with the other?
Yeah.
Or it is what is commonly known as a switchblade or a gravity knife,
she said
where
in
you
the press
press a button or flick the wrist.
She said it was not a switchblade, but apparently it is some sort of thing with a button and a spring.
If it's with a button and a spring, it is lawful only in the home. It is not lawful to carry. If it requires a hand to open the blade, it is lawful to carry. But the issue is, the arrest must be legal from the beginning of the arrest. The police would have had probable cause to believe he was carrying the switchblade at the time they began the chase. So if the chase is lawful, because they had probable cause, then all evidence they find as a result of the chase can be used against him. But if the chase is not lawful, they chased him for some inappropriate reason, then it doesn't matter what they find on him. That cannot make an unlawful arrest suddenly become lawful because of what they found at the time of the arrest.
You know, man, it's complicated.
But it is getting complicated. With respect to Mosby and with respect to the mayor, if I may, sometimes when people get elected to office, they still act like they're candidates. And they still act like well, we have that here in New York City, arguably, with the mayor. They still act like they represent the narrow group that got them elected, rather than being an office holder and putting their arms around everybody and trying to solve the greater number of problems for the greater good, freedom and public safety.
Absolutely. Well said. Good closing argument. Thank you, Judge. All right, Judge Napolitano. All right.